Ah, yes, it's that time again. It's time for
Need knowledge, no time.
or NKNT. And today we've got some fun facts for you. Some fun facts for you. Let's see the headlines. 6 traits that define cool by science.
Oh, I like that.
I forgot what else I had. Oh, yes, this is a great one. Instantly become faster. 3% faster.
What, faster, like running faster or thinking faster or
Running
speaking faster? Okay, running faster.
3% faster. And I think this translates to jumping also, like something where there is a burst of physical exercise.
Okay.
Yeah,
Our fast twitch muscles, how we can get them to react faster.
Not just sprinting.
Okay.
And then finally, got it on this page here.
So I don't know if you can notice, Jesse has turned to paper. I mean, this is like need knowledge, no time, but for some reason he had the time to print everything out on
I
paper.
printed it out. Here's why I printed it out, because I don't feel like Hewlett Packard should be getting an advertisement on our podcast every episode until they start paying.
I feel like we looked more like a podcast about knowledge, having a computer or a laptop in front of us.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I
But
thought
anyway,
this was an upgrade. No, it was more for like, there was just this big black thing.
Ah,
It
okay.
was just in the way.
okay. Anyway, keep going.
So let's just recap, okay? 6 traits that define cool, become 3% faster, and then 5 neuroscience-backed ways to become mentally more profitable. Boost mental performance. I think it was better with the computer. It's easy to find things.
You just need headlines here, Jesse.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, so today is all about self-improvement, I guess. So if you're into being a better person, then this is the episode for you. But before we roll the intro, let's get on to some bite-sized facts. Because they're a little bit fun.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so the first one, I wrote it down to put it in the last episode, but I forgot. There's been a black panther on the loose. An escaped black panther on the loose in Bulgaria, which is our home country at the moment.
Yeah.
Now it's been like 2 weeks, and I'm rooting for the guy. I want him to just live free in Europe.
So he's apparently actually, we don't know if it's male or female, but the panther escaped in northeastern Bulgaria, right up near the border with Romania. And the last report that I read, which was only maybe 3 days ago, said I'm making it masculine, he is now in Romania, not in Bulgaria anymore.
Okay, well that's
Yeah.
a bit sad. I wanted him in my country, but they're beautiful creatures.
Yeah.
Don't keep them in captivity. Run free, Mr. Black Panther.
I know. That
You-
was so sad.
Make friends with the bears in Romania. Enjoy life. Live
Yeah.
it to the full.
Yeah.
Another bite-sized fact.
Uh-huh.
I've found a correlation between the depth of my belly button and my body mass index. Now, everybody knows that there is a strong tether between the spine and the belly button from birth. So the more that my belly increases, the deeper the belly button is.
Okay.
This is not science. This is not fact, but it does seem like my belly button is the deepest it's ever been, and my belly is as big as it's ever been. Fun fact. Let's get into the real bite-sized facts.
Yeah.
This was great. I found this really interesting. Space has a smell.
Where do they come up with all of these so-called facts?
They ask astronauts.
Yeah, but an astronaut isn't smelling space. At no point in time has an astronaut taken off their whole space getup and gone, smell this space.
But they're in space. All right. Do you want to know the fact?
Yeah, I do.
Chill out. Jeez. It smells like burnt steak.
I don't believe that. Nope.
not like meaty. Let me go into it. So,
Okay.
astronauts report that the smell of space clinging to their suits smells metallic, like seared meat or welding fumes. So once they go out, then
Ah.
they come back in. The
Uh-huh.
suit has a smell of space.
Uh-huh.
So, how do you owe the AI? What do you owe the AI?
I always more explanation when delivering a
Uh,
fact.
apologies are difficult for Becky. To AI, Becky apologizes. Okay, number two.
Yeah.
A shrimp's heart, or a prawn, if you're Aussie,
Yeah.
is in its head.
Oh, because I say oh because like I'll eat the head.
Specifically, it's located in its thorax, right behind its eyes. So basically, in its head.
Hmm.
You eat a
Oh,
prawn's head?
yeah. If they're all like nice and crispy, I'm eating the whole thing from the head to the tail. Sometimes the legs too.
Okay, we're going into number three now.
Hmm.
Shakespeare. Shakespeare invented words. Shakespeare invented over 1,700 English words and phrases.
Ah, okay,
Would you like
right.
to know a few?
Yes.
Addiction.
Addiction.
Yeah, addiction.
Wow.
Yeah, that was in Othello.
Okay.
Bedazzled.
Bedazzled? That's so interesting because that to me is like such a modern word, like maybe of the last 2 decades.
Not like
Bedazzled.
not bedazzling your phone kind of thing. It's bedazzled like it's from The Taming of the Shrew. She was bedazzled by his charm.
Mm. But there must be some correlation between that and then people using bedazzled to like
For the phone.
yeah,
Yeah, I think
yeah.
it's just you're jazzing it up. You're bedazzling
Wow.
it.
The
Okay.
Taming of the Shrew. I have never seen like that performed or in theater, but I love the film The Taming of a Shrew.
Would you like to know a few more?
Yep, sorry.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
Eyeball. I would have assumed that this was not him, but it was. First documented use in A Midsummer Night's Dream. Let's just quickly pick it up.
Okay.
Okay. Lonely from Corione. I'm usually not bad at words. The Lonely Dragon. Swagger. Would you believe swagger is from A Midsummer Night's Dream from Shakespeare? What hempen homespuns have we swaggering here?
Wow.
I think my like swaggering in. Gloomy from Titus Andronicus. Zany. Undress from The Taming of the Shrew. Obscene, majestic, radiance, savage, critical, assassination, hint, and premeditated. Pretty
Ah,
cool.
and it
Pretty
says
cool.
just a note in a note, all either first documented or popularized by him. So maybe it's like it's not like he created the word. Maybe it was used before, but he had never been used in literature or in the theater or in like a public forum. And by him using it, it became popular and like entered
I didn't
the
separate the two between what he invented and what he popularized.
But that is very interesting, Jesse. I'm feeling like I need to add some of these books, because I'm sure they're also in book format, to my reading canyon.
This made me think of another very popular poet,
Hmm.
Snoop Dogg. Faux shizzle.
Faux shizzle. Yeah.
Faux shizzle.
I'm
He was
glad that you
making a
said
lot
he's
of
a
words up.
poet because you can't deny the poetry of some of those rappers.
Ah, this would have been such a great segue for the first segment, but we haven't ran the intro yet because I'd be like, Snoop Dogg is the epitome of cool.
Okay, so just
Speaking of cool, six traits that define cool.
run the intro.
In a world where time and knowledge is everything, join those who have the edge. A podcast where both come together to give you everything you need, you lazy parasite. Be the guy. Only with need knowledge, no time. A podcast that will limitless your flippin' brain.
Speaking of cool, six traits that define cool.
That's
Would you
very
like to
cool.
be cool?
Yep.
Is it learnable?
Yep.
Do you have it?
Yep.
Yeah, we do. A large APA study surveying over 6,000 people across 12 countries, including the States, Australia, and South Africa, concluded that cool individuals typically exhibit 6 key traits.
Okay.
And
Awesome.
when you hear these, you're going to be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Mhm.
Okay, number one, extroversion. Are you an extrovert?
I was like, what? What is extroversion?
Yeah, I know that's I have what each word means. Because this one, hedonism, I thought hedonism was like a negative thing. So I was
Mm.
like, what's hedonism?
hmm
Seeking pleasure, enjoyment, and comfort, living for fun and good experiences.
Okay. So the first one is extroversion, being outgoing, sociable, and energized by being around other people. That makes sense.
Okay. Power, having influence or control or authority over situations or others. I like
Ah.
the situations. Everybody likes a person who takes charge and
Mm.
has power over a situation.
Mhm.
Adventurousness, sure. We all like a bit of
Mhm.
spice in our life.
Mhm.
Openness,
Mhm.
yeah, if you're open, then it invites people to be open with you.
Yeah.
It adds a level of comfort for everyone around you.
Mhm.
Autonomy, being those people who are self-directed, so not
Mm.
being easily influenced by everyone else and making your own choices without being reliant on others.
Mhm.
So yeah, one of those people who never are like, no, we'll just do what you want to do.
Oh, that's so annoying.
They're like, well, okay, someone needs to take charge. You know what? We're going to do this
Yeah.
because everyone enjoys this kind of thing. Let's just go and
Yes.
do it.
And what there was something else I thought was autonomy, self-directed, making your own choices without relying on others. Yeah. The thought is gone now, but I like that.
But there was some social commentary on it by cool people, and mostly they were like, you just got to be gone with it. Gone with it. Born with it. You just got to be born with it.
No, I don't think
Some
that's
people
true.
have it, some people don't. I think coolness can be learned.
hmm
At least there's a lot of cool people who are shy, so we won't be able to see their coolness until they learn, I don't know, what's the word? Confidence.
And I think you can probably is that the six? One,
Yeah,
two,
that's all of
three,
them.
four, five, six. I think that you can express those six qualities in different ways. Like the way that somebody expresses their hedonism can be different from another person. And that same thing about having power and influence and authority over situations. Like it doesn't have to be that person who's like, I'm the boss, everyone listen to me.
Nah.
It can be like maybe you're not influenced by what's going on around you. Maybe you're not following the trends, for example, someone who's just jumping on every
Mm.
trend. You have power because you decided this is not for me. I'm not going to follow this. So,
You start your new trends.
yeah, yeah. Or I don't know, everyone is getting heated in an argument and they're getting angry, but you choose to stay calm. Like that's also a power over your emotions. And
So
we like people like that.
yeah.
Mhm.
So cool is not egotistical.
No.
Cool is cool.
And I think everybody can be cool and everyone can find a way to express these traits that is authentic to themselves.
But if you're not nice, you're not cool.
Yeah.
I think everyone can
Yeah.
agree with that. Be
Yeah.
nice to everyone,
Yeah.
guys. Be nice to everyone.
And when you can't be nice, just leave. Because
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
sometimes I just can't be nice about things.
Oh,
So just leave.
I thought you were talking about someone else. You're talking about yourself.
Yeah, I was because there are times when, yeah, I just don't feel like I can be nice about this situation. So then I'm just leaving.
Just leave the room.
Yeah, because the alternative is to not be nice.
Now, I know this is going to appeal to the Americans out there because sports and getting the edge is so high on their agenda. Would you like to be 3% faster in an instant? It's great, but it's so simple. So simple. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Someone's doing work in the building. A study from the University of Essex, working with 14 to 15-year-olds in Tottenham, Hotspur's Academy, found that using vivid environment focused analogies instantly improved sprint times by about 3%. Instead of technical body focused cues, athletes were told phrases like sprint like a jet taking off.
Oh.
Or I like this one, push the ground away.
Oh.
Why it works? External analogies shift attention away from body mechanics and toward the environment, which helps preserve momentum fluidity. It's like become one with the sword or whatever. It's cool.
That is so good.
So these vivid mental images provide an immediate performance boost comparable to what might take weeks of physical training.
I love that.
You're welcome. But not just from me, from the guys at Tottenham Hotspur's Academy.
That is absolutely
They're the
fantastic.
true heroes here, but I'm also a hero.
Because you're bringing it to the attention of thousands, if not millions of ears around the world.
So next time you're at the gym, do you think you will use this?
Well, I tell you how now that when you first read it, I was like, I don't understand what he's saying. And then you gave the example and I got it. And it 100% works because one of my favorite motivation Spotify playlists is about like talking about going after what you want. And the analogy used in that is when a lion sees a gazelle, what happens? And he's like, the race is on.
So do you tell yourself, take off like a lion?
Yeah, like, or I'm like, not necessarily take off, like get after it. Because that's what I think about. The hunger and the desire.
Stay hungry.
Yes, exactly. And it's so
want to
true.
do a motivation episode.
Yeah.
We are into motivational speeches, but we also see the comedy because some of the things they say are quite ridiculous.
But they're definitely for
They're helpful.
we're getting sidetracked, but they're for in the moment. But just to say about this analogy, now I think about it, they're often using analogies in their motivations because they're like giving you a scenario. For example, one is about like in a boxing ring, when a champion gets hit, does a champion stay down or does he stand up? And he like describes the process of that person getting up off the mat and keeping on going.
Yeah. But you're talking about like long-term things and things that we can tell ourselves. But this is talking about an instant boost. An instant boost. I did try it at the gym yesterday, actually, where instead of just like lifting, I imagined myself pushing away the floor.
Okay. That is really good.
The effects, I couldn't tell the difference, actually. But maybe it just wasn't the right exercise for that particular thought.
So what were you
And
saying?
maybe I needed someone to be yelling it at me like, push the floor away.
So wait,
It's lava.
well, it says using vivid, environment-focused analogies. So I like that one, sprint like a jet taking off. I think maybe you might have to think of them before you go to the gym.
Maybe.
And then have them in mind. Like we're obviously talking about a gym because that's where we like to do our fitness, but wherever your fitness environment is and whatever you're doing, think
no
about
sprinters in the room anymore. This one was a sprinter at one stage.
Yeah. Think about the activity that you're doing and then which analogy would be best suited for that activity. I think I love that one, Jess.
Yeah,
That's
it's a good one.
fantastic.
It's a good
That's
one.
so
I
good.
think people will like that one.
Yeah.
Bottom line, instead of telling runners how to move, coaches can tell them what to imagine.
Yes.
Picture yourself as a jet and watch them accelerate like one.
I love that.
Okay, so children, once upon a time there was a man called Usain Bolt. And in 2009, he made the world record for the 100-meter sprint, and we all felt like he could have ran a little faster. That's neither here nor there. Would you like to know how fast he would have ran that world record run if he was 3% faster?
Do you have what he ran?
I have what he ran and the new number, yes.
Okay,
so the world record and the current world record, this was 2009, so it's a long time ago. And he is still looking exactly the same as he did back then.
Okay, so he ran that 100-meter sprint in
2.58 seconds.
No, he did.
Sorry, 9.58 seconds.
9.58 seconds. Okay, so he ran, and that's still the
He did run like a jet.
Yeah, it's still the world record.
It's still the world record.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. If he was
3% faster, 9.29 seconds. So he's wiped off 3/10 of a second, which would
Yeah.
make another how many decades to his
Yeah.
world record if anyone ever breaks it.
Yes. Yeah, that's true if anyone ever breaks it.
And
Wow.
would you like to know
Yeah.
if I could jump 3% higher, could I dunk? Because dunking is a dream of mine, and the older I get, the further I get away from this. So I asked AI if I could jump 3% higher, could I dunk? Now I put in my height, I put in like my current vertical jump. He said I still need 2.8 inches. So there's a good chance I'll never be able to dunk.
You know what, Jesse? If you want to dunk, just lower the ring.
Like the children.
Really, no, that's thinking outside of the box. Thinking outside of the box.
What if someone else does it for me and doesn't tell me? That's great for my motivation.
Yes, I'll lower the ring for you. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're still on the theme of self-improvement.
Mhm.
What have we done so far?
We've
Ah,
how
who's
to be cool,
cool?
the
How to be
traits of
cool,
being
yeah.
cool.
We've spoken about 3% faster.
Yeah.
Love it.
Which I just want to say, I feel like that really crosses over in how to motivate yourself.
Yeah.
I'm
So we're
loving that
talking
one.
about three things. We're talking about physical,
Mhm.
we're talking about social,
Mhm.
we're talking about the final one, which is intelligence.
Okay.
5 neuroscience backed ways to boost mental performance.
Okay, I love this.
Some of these I feel like you will know or have heard about, but I think if you put it into practice, it will definitely be helpful.
Mm.
Number one, say it out loud. Vocalizing, even mouthing information enhances retention.
Mhm.
Hearing yourself reinforces the memory beyond just internal thought.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
Number two is do a 40-second replay. So a 40-second mental replay. So what you've just learned, take 40 seconds
Mhm.
to just replay it in your head, and then it'll be more in that brain.
So can I just put this in the context of, like, for example, we're trying to learn another language. So maybe we've learned a phrase or we've learned a sentence. We should take 40 minutes to just 40 minutes, 40 seconds to cement that in our mind.
Mm.
So,
And that's the beauty. All of it is very easy to do and doesn't take long to do.
yeah. Okay.
So remember like a meeting point or sequence of steps. This rehearsal boosts memory consolidation for days or even weeks. So just 40 seconds of rehearsal can really make a difference. Number three, make a prediction about your recall. I find this one interesting. Predicting whether you will remember something improves your chances by up to 50%.
Wow.
It prompts hippocampal activity, much like self-testing. So what you
Wow.
need to do after you learn it is be like, will you remember this in 2 days? No, I don't think I'll remember this. Or say, yes, you'll remember it. Whatever your prediction is, won't make a difference. What will make a difference is making the prediction will reinforce it into your brain.
That's really interesting. Mhm.
I do this next one, number 4, if I need to get my creative juices going. Zone out for two minutes. So this is a proper zone out. You're not thinking about what you're trying to remember. You're just giving your brain a rest. You're just laying back, meditating. Yeah. So brief intentional rest, eyes closed, light daydreaming meditation enhances memory stabilization nearly as well as sleep does by allowing neural replay.
So it's almost like just take a 2-minute break.
Yeah.
Yeah, take a 2-minute
have a
break.
break.
Close your eyes. It's like a great opportunity to do some deep breathing or something.
Mhm.
So you're not thinking about what you've just learned. You're not doing any of that visualization or predictions. You're just having a moment of peace and quiet. That's it, right?
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And number 6, everyone will know this one. Get a good night's sleep, especially between learning sessions.
It's so funny that you say that everyone knows it because it's true. But how many of us don't
Get a good
get a
night's
good night's sleep. Because
these days.
I'm one of them. I just listened to a podcast on the benefits of sleep, and the doctor was saying everybody knows it, but actually so few of us actually get a good night's sleep.
Yeah, because it's more difficult than just going to bed at a regular time and waking up at a regular time. It goes into diet, it goes into caffeine, it goes into everything.
I would say though that even that simplest thing of, as you just said, going to bed early enough, a lot of us don't do. We like have a goal, we want to be in bed by I some people say 9 o'clock. That's not even realistic for me. Like it could be 11 o'clock. I'm just not even in bed by 11 o'clock.
And then people start scrolling. I like to
Yeah.
scroll a little before I go to bed too, usually about like news headlines and
So what does
science
it
like
tell
this.
us about a good night's sleep?
Okay, sleeping after studying and again between study sessions enhances long-term retention and cuts study time in half.
Wow.
College students, it cuts study time in half. Sleep facilitates offline memory consolidation.
Mhm. I remember that's what this podcast was talking about, and like I was visualizing it in my head, and I was like, as if you know those like I don't know, not really a toy. I was thinking at the science museum. It had like 1,000 pins, and then I hate
Science
it.
musician.
Why doesn't he just let me get away with my mistake?
Okay, and you put your hand in it.
Yeah, and if you pressed it down, you got a deeper impression, right?
Yeah.
I kind of, in my mind, that's how I thought about this concept of getting a good night's sleep cements what you've learned. I feel like the longer you sleep, it's like the deeper your hand presses into those pins to cement what you have learned in your mind.
Nice analogy. I like it.
Thank you.
I like
Thank you.
it.
Thank you. Thank
I'm
you.
not sure how scientific it is, but I mean that's what it's
Well,
about,
no,
really.
excuse me. It's completely scientific. It's
Okay.
what you've just said, and I'm now illustrating how my mind pictures that.
All right. So we've just got a quick breakdown of how to apply it. So number one, read or learn something new.
Mm-hmm.
Say it aloud 3 to 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
Spend 40 seconds mentally replaying it.
Mm-hmm.
Ask yourself if you'll remember.
Mm-hmm.
Have your few minutes of zone out time,
Mm-hmm.
and then sleep well.
Wow. It's like so many of these things. It's not that hard when it's written on paper, is it? Like when you read it, those 6 steps, it's like, wow, that's so achievable. I can do that. Will we do this in practice?
Maybe
Some of them.
I actually saved the article in my phone
Did
to
you?
come back on. Well, I save a lot of articles.
But still, I mean, even if you're doing the first step or the second step, you're still doing more than you were before, right? So it's an improvement.
Hands down, the most helpful episode of Need Knowledge No Time so far. What do you reckon?
Well, yeah, I love it. I'm still gobsmacked about not gobsmacked, but like just hit with the force of how true that is about the analogies, vivid analogies in the gym for your performance.
Now, I've got a question for our listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like Becky to do a little more homework and not just leave it all on me?
Today he told me that he is the host. So I was like, well, I'm just here to provide the entertainment and the commentary.
I said I'm the host because you're going to do homework.
And at one point I did have something that I wanted to bring to the podcast. And Jesse told me that was boring.
Yeah, it was boring.
And then he said, yeah, but how can AI help with that? And so then I was just like, oh, well, I'm not going to do anything.
And the point is, AI is doing the homework for us. She doesn't even have to do much homework. Okay, so speaking of our next podcast, I'm thinking very heavily about doing it completely on music. So would you be interested in that? A music dedicated podcast, but also State of Origin mixed in a little bit there because tomorrow is State of Origin.
State of Origin, for anyone who doesn't know, is the rugby league state versus state championship in Australia happening tomorrow. If you don't know, now you know. Yep. Okay, well, that was fun. But from us here at NKNT, we out.